Steam Machine has been a product that Valve have been trying to get started for a little while now and hasn't really been that successful. Although they have collaborated with hardware manufacturers like Alienware, CyberPower, and Gigabyte. And the Linux-based SteamOS had its initial launch back in 2013. Fast forward to February 25th, 2022, Valve released the Steam Deck with a little bit of a bumpy start, but with years and years of support and commitment to developing the hardware and software. Valve solidified their stance in the handheld world. Up to this day, the Steam Deck is probably one of the best handhelds out there. Still a little bit underpowered, but still one of the most reliable. Fast forward again to November 12th, 2025. Valve has made a huge move and announced the return of the Steam Machine and 2 other projects, building a pretty solid ecosystem. Valve announced the Steam Machine alongside the Steam Frame and the Steam Controller. The Steam Controller is basically just a Steam Deck without the screen or a processor, bringing some of the functionality of the touchpad and layout to PC gaming outside of a Steam Deck. The Steam Frame, on the other hand, is Valve's VR headset. But I will say today, VR has taken a little bit of a backseat to other technologies and it hasn't been as popular as when it first launched. It felt like every PC, every console, everything that came out had some kind of VR stamp on it, kind of like what it is with AI nowadays. And a lot of major players have put out some really pricey offerings. Valve has taken a new leap into VR and non-VR with this new headset. And it looks like they're putting a lot of focus on the non-VR side of things with having a large monitor at your fingertips whenever you want to use it. And it seems like they want to tackle the non-VR virtual display a little bit more, with other companies doing the same thing. I think Valve has a chance to change the perception of that non-VR virtual display feature a little bit more than some of the other companies. Plus, they have their gigantic library that they can leverage. The Frame is an ARM-based system, which now puts us into a new territory when it comes down to emulation, and being the first ARM-based system with SteamOS, it'll have a pretty big impact on emulation in the future. But to me, the star of the show is the Steam Machine, a little black box with interchangeable faceplates and an LED status bar. A pretty simple looking machine that doesn't really stand out for a crazy design, but it's very recognizable. I think that they did take some cues from the GameCube, but we don't want to say Nintendo's name out loud. So let's talk about the specs. The CPU is a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 with 6 cores and 12 threads, and can run up to 6.4 gigahertz with a 30-watt TDP. The GPU is a semi-custom AMD RDNA 3 with 28 compute units, 2.45 gigahertz, max sustained clock, and 110-watt TDP. RAM is a 16 gigabyte DDR5 plus 8 gigabytes of DDR6 VRAM. It will be coming in 2 different models, a 512 gigabyte and a 2 terabyte model. Both of them will have micro SD slots for expansion. It will come with Wi-Fi 6E, a Bluetooth 5.3 dedicated antenna, and an integrated 2.4 gigahertz wireless controller adapter. It'll have a display port that can support up to 4K 240 Hz and 8K at 60 Hz. It will have support for HDR, FreeSync, and also will have an HDMI 2.0 that can support up to 4K 120 Hz, with the same support for HDR, FreeSync, and CEC. Other connections on the console would be 2 USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports on the front, 2 USB 2.0 high-speed ports on the back, and 1 USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port in the back. This is the size and weight of the console. It's kind of hard to see it on paper because you don't really get a sense of how big it is. And I don't have a physical one here, so I couldn't tell you exactly what it looks and feels like, but I can show you the pictures. It's kind of hard to really show the console or the specs or anything if I don't have it on hand. Now, Steam is jumping into the fray with the rest of the consoles. Now, it's not a console, it's still a PC, so you can download specific apps or any apps that you really want, or even just install your own operating system into it. They will also have a Steam Machine verified games list, just like the Steam Deck, which is a genius move. Although they can improve on it a little bit, but the fact that they are focusing on that and making sure that you have what you need for that console or PC or whatever you want to call it, is going to be fantastic. Steam has been a leading force in gaming, although they've had some missteps in the past. But with the announcement of all these new releases that are coming down the pipeline, they are 100% cementing themselves into this fully built ecosystem. It's really nice to have something where you can start a game on your PC, move on to a handheld and or VR glasses. You have a lot of opportunity with this ecosystem, and Steam is really leaning into it. I think they're trying to perfect some pretty strong ideas that other companies have put out on the market and building it around the Steam Valve ecosystem, which is going to be a fantastic way to play anything. 2026 is going to be a huge year for gaming, and I'm super excited for what's to come. Steam is doing a lot of big moves, and I'm curious to see how they're all going to work out. So what do you think about the announcement from Steam? Are you going to get a Steam Machine? I am very excited about the Steam Machine. I've been wanting to build a computer for my living room, and honestly, this is a very good option to put out there and be able to play on the big screen. So tell me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, humans.